So, good morning, students. We'll start with today's topic on communication engineering, which is we are going to see about error control codes. So, what is the purpose of error control codes? First, we have to understand the importance of this particular concept, how it is useful. Then we can see in detail about error control codes. So, when we have discussed about the communication systems, so we try to see that we'll be having some message, some data would be there. We'll be having some message. It is speech signal. It can be some digital data. We'll be having some form of a message. So what we have to do is we have to transmit. So we have to transmit this message to some other destination, to a receiver. So this is the transmitter. Okay, we'll always have a transmitter and a receiver. So we try to will be uh, in a purpose to send the data from one point to another point. So this is the transmitter end where you are actually collecting the data and we have to send to the receiving end. Suppose you take a mobile call. Okay, so you are in a need to make a phone call. So what we do is we try to punch in the number, the receiver number, then we try to make a call. So there we'll be transmitting that speech. If you are telling some message, that would be converted into electrical signal and that has to be transmitted. Okay, suppose you think about internet. Okay, so most of the time you are connected to the internet. So we'll be sending messages through WhatsApp. So there also we'll be sending a text data. So we'll be having a text data, so that we try to type in, and that would be converted into ones and zeros, and it would be transmitted across the channel to the receiver. Okay, so there are so many things happening in between. So this is the channel. Okay, this is the channel. The channel can be different. If you are thinking about a mobile communication, we'll be having the free space, the air, the atmosphere as the medium. If you are thinking about wired communication, which is predominant in internet, okay, so we'll be having wire communication. Okay, but whatever the channel be, we have to check whether the data is properly transmitted. Okay, so this is where our error control codes come into play. Okay, because I cannot be 100% sure that the data we try to transmit will reach the receiving end, okay, without any distortion. Nobody can guarantee. Okay, there will be always some kind of unwanted or distortions occurring in the channel, or maybe in the system itself, or maybe in the communication equipment. So whatever it may be, it can induce some kind of interference. Okay, so that we cannot ignore. Okay, it can corrupt the data. Suppose you want to transmit a single digit. Suppose you want to transmit 8. Okay, suppose I'm going to encode that 8 as a binary data. So you'll encode as what? 1000. Okay, 4 bit. Suppose you want to transmit this number, okay, 8. Okay, so you'll be transmitting 1000. On the receiving end, the same 1000 has to be received. Okay, but not the case. Okay, there might be some distortion occurring here. Okay, you will be receiving as 011 or 0111. Okay, so this is where the error occurs. Okay, it can be some kind of a random occurrence, the error, or it can be due to some a limitation of your device. Okay, so our objective is how to transmit the data. Okay, so that even if error occurs, okay, which is inevitable, even if it occurs, how I can correct it, okay. So that is where we try to have what is called the error control codes, okay. So this is very important. You can see the importance, okay. Any kind of a communication, I have to have some kind of a mechanism where I try to transmit the data, okay. On the receiving side, I need to have some system to identify whether the transmitted data is correct or not, okay. If it is wrong like this, what you have to do, we have to correct it, okay. So that is why we are having the error control codes and correcting codes, okay. This is not something new. This is something we all know. If you try to recollect, in DLC you must have studied about Hamming codes, okay. So Hamming codes, what is the purpose of Hamming code? The same process, okay. It is going to come under that linear code only. So Hamming codes we have already used in our application. In the lab also we try to study a form of this codes. If you try to recollect, you have done in the lab, okay. Parity generation and checking. So you have done parity generation and checking, okay. Why do you want to do that one? Because have to generate a system of data which can accommodate this error, okay. Even if error has occurred, we can find out, okay. So that is the purpose of this particular topic, error control codes, okay. You have to detect the error, and if error occurs, we have to correct it. That is our objective, okay. So we are going to discuss how we can do this particular operation. So we are going to see a topic, linear codes, okay. So this is a very important class of error control systems which try to process a block of code, a stream of data, okay, a stream of data, ones and zeros, okay, because we try to convert all the forms of data into ones and zeros, okay. In the previous units, we have discussed about digital modulation. You have studied about ASK, all the phase shift keying, how we are having different system to transmit ones and zeros. So, so the linear code, it's a stream of ones and zeros only, and we are going to base our system based on this stream of data, linear codes. Okay, so this is our topic. We are going to discuss about linear codes. Okay, error control codes. So first we try to define. Okay, so first we try to define what is our message and what is the data. Okay, you have to understand. Let me rub this one. So we have to understand. See, are you able to see this annotation, the writing I'm doing on the slide? Students, are you able to see the writing on the slide? Annotations? Okay. So what we do is, so here I try to define. Uh, a block of code, okay. So this is a block of code, a stream of data, okay. We are having the messages, okay. Message is a collection of data, so I'm going to define that as the k, okay. So that is the k, message is going to be k bit, okay. And we are having the encoded data which is n bit, okay. So this is how we try to define our property of this linear block code, okay. Number of bits of your message, it is k, you know, because we are designing a system for a particular application, okay. So we know for a message how many data, how many bits are there. So this is the number of bits for the message, this is the encoder, okay. Always understand, on the there are two important sides of a communication, transmitter and a receiver. So on the transmitter side, we are having the message, and if you are doing error control. If you are increasing the property of your data, okay, to accommodate error, okay, so what we do is we try to encode, okay. So encode is nothing but it is like for the message you're adding some additional bit so that it is having that error detection property, okay. So this process is called encode, okay. So this is happening on the transmitter side, okay. What is an encoding process? In this particular context, when you have a set of message, okay, of k bit, we try to add additional bits, okay, so which is going to carry that error correction property. So that process is called encoding, okay. So we take k bits, we add some additional bits, okay. What is that additional bit? We have actually know what is that additional bit. If you want to transmit the data, okay, and it is going to carry that error correcting property, what is the additional bit I try to add? Can you name? You know the name of that additional bit. What is that? Anyone? What is the additional bit we add to the message data so that it carries that property? Parity bits, okay. Never come across parity bits? Yes or no? We have used in our lab also parity bits. We try to add the parity bits. Parity bits has that property, okay. In Hamming code, what you will do, you will have a message. What we do, we in the generation so in the generation part, we try to add the parity bits. After that we will get what is called the Hamming code, that is having that error correction property, okay. Similarly, here we are having the message, okay. Then we have to add some parity bits so that it is going to become a encoded message like a Hamming code, okay, of bit n, okay. So what would be the number of parity bits? N minus k. This is your number of parity bits. You able to understand? So this we have to transmit, okay, on the receiver side. Receiver side, what we call as decoding, okay. In receiver side, we try to call it as decoding. Decoding is nothing but you receive the coded message, code word, which is having the message. You try to retrieve it. If there is error, you try to correct it. That process is done on the receiver side. That is called decoding, okay. So this is happening on the receiver side, okay. So what are the things I've introduced in a linear block code? We are having k message bits, okay. Then we have to add how many parity bits? N minus k parity bits, okay. Totally will be getting how much bit for the encoded data? N bits, okay. You have to understand, for k bits we have to add n minus k parity bits so that finally it is what? An encoded message of n bit, okay. That is why we represent like this, okay. Generally we won't tell the parity bits. It is understood indirectly, it is understood that n is the final length of the encoded message. K is the number of your message. Always what is the nature? N would be greater than k, okay. So what makes that difference? The parity bits, okay. So parity bits is added to the message bit so that it carries that property. What property? Error correcting property, okay. So this is a preface. This is the main point in the error control codes, main foundation principle in the error control codes, specifically linear block code. What is k? N minus k and n, okay. Okay, so how to generate this encoded message? So I told you, okay, what is that encoded message? That is our code word that is having that property that we are going to transmit, okay. So now we have to have what is called the generator matrix, okay. So it's nothing but you have the message is our U. Okay, we have the message. Okay, I have to generate this encoded data, okay, or the code words. How that is possible? You multiply with this generator matrix. Okay, so it is like an encoder. Okay, we can think it is analogous to an encoder. Okay, this G is nothing but analogous to an encoder. So you take the message, you try to multiply with the generator matrix, okay, of your system. So you will be getting the code words. So this code word is transmitted. This code word has the error correcting property. Okay, so that is what given here. So generator matrix, from the name we can understand that it is the manipulation we are doing with the message data on the transmitter side. Okay, so this is the generator matrix. Very simple system. So it is nothing but a linearly independent code words. Okay, so what is inside this G matrix? It is a matrix. What is there? It is a collection of some ones and zeros. Okay, if you are thinking about digital data, this G is also a collection of some ones and zeros. Okay, placed in a particular fashion. Okay, we'll be having a block of parity. We'll be having a block of some data. Okay, some ones and zeros that forms this G matrix. Okay, so it is nothing but k linearly independent code words. Okay, so when you have this G matrix, this encoder matrix, you multiply with the message, you will be getting the code words. Okay, so this completes our transmitter part. Okay, if you don't understand G, don't worry, when you go through the other topics you'll understand. So here this is the systematic code. It's nothing but you arrange in a particular fashion, that's all. Okay, so this is the one example of a linear block code. Okay, why it is systematic? We try to arrange it in a particular fashion. Okay, so we are having n minus k. This is not, what is this? This is nothing but the parity. Okay, what is k? Message. Okay, what is the total bit length? N. This is our encoded data. Okay, so this is one way of representing the data. And why it is linear? So every now and then I'm telling you what a linear block code. What is a property of a linear? It's nothing but we are having two code words. We are having C1, C2, some code words. Okay, when you add these two, again it will end up in a code word. Okay, the sum of two code words is again a code word. Okay, it is actually a linearity property. Okay, so that is why it is called a linear block. So this is a representation of the generator matrix G. So in the previous slide I told you it's nothing but a collection of data, okay, some ones and zeros. Specifically, if we try to see what is inside that G matrix, we'll be having a chunk of parity data. Okay, we'll be having some combination of parity data. We'll be having an identity matrix. We all know identity matrix. Okay, collection of ones across the diagonal. Okay, so G matrix is nothing but some block of parity bits, some block of identity data. Okay, so this forms G. Okay, so based on your type of error control, okay, we are having one common example is Hamming code. Okay, so we can have different types of error control codes. So based on your algorithm, this matrix will change. Okay, so this we have to know. Okay, what type of error control system algorithm you are following. Okay, so based on that we'll be having this matrix. Okay, so we'll be having what is called the G matrix, and based on that we generate the codes. Okay, so what is G? G is nothing but a block of ones and zeros consisting of some block of parity data, then a block of identity matrix. Okay, so always understand the dimension. Okay, what is K? K is the number of bits for the message. Okay, P is based on your communication encoder. Okay, so based on the type of the system, this P varies. Okay, so totally we have this G matrix, and this is a block of code. Okay, I can interchange also. You have to be very careful. You can also have like this I of K and P. This is totally allowed. Okay, we are just changing it. See, you can add parity bits in the front side of your data. Okay, you can have a data like this. If your message is one, wait. Okay, your message is like this 9. This is our message. I can have a parity bit here. Okay, or you can add the parity bit on the other side. Both are allowed, right? It's my wish to add the parity bits. I can add in the front of the data stream or at the back end of the data stream. That is why this is both the things are allowed. You can have a combination of parity and identity in this manner, or you can have first identity and parity. Okay, so you have to look at the matrix. Okay, sometimes they will provide you the G matrix. Okay, so you have to look at the matrix and you have to find out how they have placed the blocks. Okay, first whether you are getting parity and then identity or the other way. Okay, that you have to find out from the question. Okay, you have to understand. So this is the generator matrix. Okay, this is one example. Okay, so we'll take a particular G matrix. Okay, for a system it is predefined. Generator matrix has to be predefined. The generator matrix has to be predefined. Okay, so just tell me, looking at this G matrix, you just tell me how the block of data is placed. Observe the matrix. Okay, so this is G, this is G matrix. Observe it and tell me. Okay, you can see that if you draw a line, you are having some combination of ones and zeros. Okay, but if you try to see this side, it is having a particular property. Diagonal elements are 1. So this is nothing but the ik. So this has to be a parity. So this is G matrix of form parity combining with the identity matrix. Okay, this we can find out easily from the block of data. Okay, what are the other information you can collect? Can you tell me what is N and K? N is the total bit of the code word. Okay, how many bits are there? This is for each bit. Okay, so this is for each bit. So this is each bit, right? This is each bit. So totally is C0 to C6, 7 bit. So what is N? 7. Okay, what has to be the K? K has to be, look at the message, M0 to M3, 4 bit. Okay, so 4. So this is a block code of 7 cross 7 comma 4. Okay, and you can find out from here also. What is the thing I given? I of K. K is what? It's a matrix of identity matrix of 4 cross 4. So this agrees. Okay, so so many information you can collect from this block of matrix. Okay, I know what is the number of message bit. I can know what is the number of parity bits. Okay, I can find out what is the length of the code word generated. Okay, so this is the process. So they can ask a question for a given G matrix. Okay, they'll give a matrix like this. They'll ask you to generate the code words, generate a encode a table or a code words. What you have to do? You know what is the number of bits for a message? K is what? K is equal to 4. So number of message bit is 4. M0 to M3. Can you tell me what are the different variants of 4-bit data? How many combination you will have if your message is 4-bit? What are the different combination of message bit you will have if it is 4-bit? Anyone? Any student? If you are following this tutorial, you can answer this. My question is, here I came to know that k is equal to 4. Okay, so number of bits for the message data is 4, M0 to M3. If that is the case, what are the different types of message I can have? How many combinations of message I can have? Very good, 16. Okay, so Mugilan has got it correctly. So we'll be having 16 messages. So how many code words will generate? 16 code words. Okay, what is the length of each code word? 1 cross 7. Okay, it's a matrix of 1 cross 7. Okay, so it's a matrix multiplication followed by modulo 2 addition. Okay, this is modulo 2. Don't do a binary addition. Be very careful. This is a modulo 2 addition. Okay, kindly keep in mind. So we have to do the modulo 2 addition. XOR பண்ணும்பா அவ்வளவுதான். modulo 2 னா ஒண்ணும் இல்ல, we have to do a XOR. Okay, suppose we'll take an example in the last. Okay, let me complete this topic. So this is what we are doing on the transmitter side. Okay, so we have to know, we'll know what is G, generator matrix. We know what is the message, what are the different types of messages. For each message, what is the code word. Okay, so what is message? We are having 1 cross 4. What is this matrix? This is 4 cross 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So what is the length of each code word? 1 cross 7. Okay, so that is understandable. And how you are getting that each code word? Performing a matrix multiplication by XOR. Okay, between the values. So they can ask a question, they can ask a problem also for a given modular linear block code. Find out the different code words. Okay, so this is on the transmitter side. Okay, so now what is happening on the receiver side? Okay, see, it is always a duality. On the transmitter side, if you are having encoder, what will have on the receiver side? Decoder. Okay, if you are having a modulator on the transmitter side, what will have on the receiver side? Demodulator. Okay, so this is a dual. Okay, so if you are having an encoder, okay, on the receiver side, if you want to get back the data, what I need to have? A decoder. Okay, so that is nothing but a parity check matrix. Okay, on the transmitter side, you are having what is called the G. What is G? Generator matrix. Okay, on the transmitter side. On the receiver side, what will have? Parity check matrix H. Okay, so this is like encoder, this is like decoder. Okay, kindly understand. So we need to have a check matrix on the receiver side to decode the data. So what is the property of this check matrix? See, I am designing the encoder. Okay, so I know how to retrieve the data. So I know what is the property of a H matrix. Okay, what is the relation between an encoder and a decoder? They try to do opposite work. Okay, we know the property of an encoder system. What is the property of a decoder system? It will do the opposite of the encoder. Likewise, we know what is a G matrix. Okay, a generator matrix. Then what is the property of a check matrix? Inverse of it. Okay, so what is the property of a H matrix? So we'll be having I n minus k and a block of P transpose. Okay, inverse. Okay, we know what is G. G is arranged like block of P with a block of I. Okay, இது அப்படியே reverse பண்ணும். Reverse பண்ணீங்கன்னா we'll be getting what is the H matrix. Okay, so if you have the J matrix, can you find the H matrix? Yeah, very well I can find it. I just have to inverse it. Okay, so what is the property of inversion here? You'll be having n minus k. Okay, kindly understand it is n minus k because we are transposing. Okay, so we'll be having n minus k and p transpose. Inverse பண்ணும்போது இந்த dimension மாறிடும். Okay, so that then only we'll have a proper recovery. So what is the property of H matrix? I of n minus k and p transpose. Okay, for this is the H matrix. You can also have the other way around also. You can have G to be in this fashion also. Ik p also. For this, can you tell me what is H matrix? We will be having p transpose I n minus k. Okay, okay, able to understand? So be very careful. You can place the parity, okay, in a different position. So this is allowed. For this, H matrix is this. If this is followed, its corresponding H matrix is this one. Okay, so this you have to identify from the given question, from the G matrix, how they have placed the parity and the identity matrix. Okay, so this is how we try to decode the data. Okay, this is one, there is one example. We'll take this example. Okay, so now determine the parity check matrix H for the linear block code 7 cross 4 generated by the G matrix. Okay, we are having a question. So they are asking us to get what is H matrix. Okay, so first to find out what are the data you can um, get from the question. So what is this first value? This is following the block code notation n comma k. So n is the encoded code word length is 7. What is for message? Okay, k. So we know what is n and k. Okay, come back to the G. So now you have to find out in what manner they have formed this matrix. Okay, so you observe the matrix, whether you can find out the identity. Yeah, we can find out the identity matrix here. So put a line. Okay, so you can see that we are having identity matrix in this place. So this is actually conforming to the notation I of k. K is what? 4. Okay, this agrees. If this block of code is identity, then what is this block of code? This has to be your parity. Okay, so this is conforming to the block notation p I k. Okay, this is understood. Okay, so we know what is the parity block, we know what is identity block. I can very well find out the H matrix. For this combination, what has to be the H matrix? I of n minus k block p transpose. You able to understand? You able to follow my statement? Yes or no? Kindly tell in the chat whether you can understand this particular statement. யாருன்னா சொல்லுங்க, புரியுதா இல்லையா? How we have got this H matrix? Okay, okay, thanks. So now, so we can see whether we are having that phenomenon. Okay, they have stated here. Okay, this is actually submatrix. Okay, this is some part of that whole matrix, submatrix. Okay, so this is our P. Okay, and this is our I. Okay, okay, so this is how they are arranged. So we have to get the H matrix in this form. Okay, so what they have done? First they have done I of n minus k. What is I of n minus k? I of 7 minus 4, 3. So it's a matrix of identity matrix of order 3. Okay, so we'll be having what? Because this I n minus k, so we'll be having this. First we'll be placing the identity matrix of order 3. Remaining has to be your parity, which has to be p transpose. You transpose this one. Okay, what will have? So 1 1 0, then 0 1 1 1 1 1, transpose of this. Okay, so we'll be having 1 0 1. Okay, this is P transpose. So this is what it is given here. Okay, so now we have got the check matrix also. Okay, okay, coming to the main part. Okay, so we know how to generate a code word, then we are transmitting. On the receiver side we will be receiving. Okay, I'll be getting some code word, then I have to check it. Okay, how to check it? How to first find out whether the collected data is correct or wrong? See, that is uh, the best feature of error control codes. Okay, you are not having any kind of other information. Okay, you are just receiving the data. Okay, you are just receiving the data. From the data, I can find out whether the data is correct or not. In some cases, I can correct also. Okay, so that is what error correction. So how to first check the data is correct or not? Okay, suppose you are having, you take some other example. Suppose you are having a disease. Okay, some you are having some fever. Okay, what is the first thing will the doctor or the physician will do? He'll try to check for symptoms. Okay, whether before concluding what is the disease, he'll try to check the symptoms, whether he's having a cough, whether he's having a fever, whether he is vomiting, the person is vomiting or not. So that is called the symptoms. The same thing here, we call it as a syndrome. Okay, why we call it as syndrome? Because we don't know what is the received data. We are getting some combination of ones and zeros on the receiver side. I have to check. Okay, I have to look for some symptoms in the data, whether it is correct or not. That is why they are gave the name syndrome. Okay, we are just checking the integrity of the data. So this is the syndrome error detection. We are actually finding out whether the data is corrupted or not. First thing is you have to check it if there is any error or not. If error means I have to correct it. That is the next step. So how to find out? This simple matrix multiplication. Receive data, okay, dot product H transpose. What is H transpose? It's nothing but the check matrix. Okay, say think about the name check matrix. Okay, so we are using the H matrix for checking whether the data is having transmitter is correct or not. Okay, so this is the method to find out whether the data is received is correct or not. Okay, if there is some error now we can find out in this particular matrix S. Okay, syndrome. So what you have to do for checking the data on the receiver side, you receive the data, multiply with our decoder block, which is nothing but the H parity check matrix, specifically H transpose. You will be getting some data syndrome. So that will give a clue. The yes will give a clue whether the data is correct or not. Okay, so we can see this definition also. So it is given here, the detection operation is performed over the received vector. So the operation results in a all zero vector. Then let me rub this. Follow this line. Follow this particular statement. You will understand this particular statement. The detection operation is performed over the received vector, okay, R, so that if the operation results in all zero vector, if your syndrome is zero, means what? No error. Okay, your received data is correct. Then the received is considered to be a valid code word. If otherwise, the decoder has detected error. If you are getting a non-zero value, suppose 0, 1, 0, 0, some combination, it means that your data is corrupted. I have to correct it. Okay. So this is one example. Okay. Anyway, we'll take a problem and we can do. Suppose you are having some data. Suppose we are getting receive data as, I'm taking randomly 10, this is 7. So this is our receive data 0101110. Okay, I don't know whether it's correct or not. How to find out? Just multiply with the H transpose. This is H transport, not H. You can see here we have got what is H. Okay, so this is our H. This you have to transpose. Okay, so we'll be getting this 7 cross 3. Okay, these two I have to do a matrix multiplication. Okay, so you will have, how, what is the output you will be getting? This is 1 cross 7, this is 7 cross 3. What is the final syndrome dimension? It will be 1 cross 3. That is our S. So that is why we are having what? S0, S1, S2, because it's 1 cross 3. Able to understand? So this we have to find out. Kindly understand, this is multiplication followed by modulo 2 addition. Modulo 2 addition means XORing. Don't do binary addition. Okay, it is not a binary addition, it is XORing. Okay, we know what is XORing. 0 0 means 0, 0 1 means what? 1, 1 0 means 1, 1.1 0. This is modulo 2 addition. Okay, this we have to follow. Okay, this you can expect as part C also. They can give a block of data and they'll ask you to find out code words. They'll ask you to find out whether the data is correct or not. Okay, so it's enough you know what is G. If I know what is G, I know what is H. If I know what is K, I know what are the number of message bits. I can generate the code words, and if they give me a received code, I can find out syndrome. Based on that, I can find out where the error has occurred. So many things we can do. Okay, so they have taken an example. This is one example. For the same data, we can do the sum also. Okay, let me complete this topic, then we can discuss about a problem in this topic. Okay, so other important question they can expect is, they'll give a block of data and they'll ask you to find out these things. Okay, these are the property of the code words. Okay, property of the code words. They can ask you what is the weight of the code word. What is the weight of the code word? Number of non-zero elements in the code word. That's all. Simple as that. Okay, just go through this. Just go through these points. Somebody kindly take the snapshot of the participant. Somebody take a snapshot of this participant for attendance. யார் எடுக்கிறீங்க? யாருன்னா ஒருத்தர் எடுங்கப்பா. For attendance. யாருன்னா ஒருத்தர் எடுங்கப்பா. யாருன்னா அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் எடு. இந்த பார்ட்டிசிபெண்ட் மட்டும் ஸ்னாப்ஷாட் எடுத்துட்டு அப்புறம் ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கப்பா. தேங்க்ஸ்மா ஸ்ரீ. அது அப்புறமா என் குரூப்பில் ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ இது பாருங்க. see this definitions. இப்போ வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வெயிட் ஆஃப் த கோட் வேர்ட் ஒன்றும் இல்லை. இப்போ ஒரு கோட் வேர்ட் இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோ, 10101111. ஓகே, வாட் இஸ் த வெயிட் ஆஃப் த கோட் வேர்ட்? ஜஸ்ட் ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் ஹவு மெனி நான் ஜீரோ எலிமெண்ட்ஸ் ஆர் தேர். எத்தனை ஒன்று இருக்குன்னு பாரு, அவ்வளோதான். ஸோ 1 2 3 4 5. ஸோ வாட் இஸ் த வெயிட் ஆஃப் யுவர் கோட்? 5. இந்த மாதிரி டிஃப்ரெண்ட் டேட்டாக்கு நீ பார்க்கணும். ஓகே, சப்போஸ் we are taking an example where k is equal to 4. K is equal to 4 na artham will be having 16 message data. Okay, appo 16 code words you have to generate. Then you have, for each code word you have to find out weight. Okay, so that is weight of the code word. In all that 16 code words you have to find out the weight, the minimum weight. Okay, the minimum value you have as the weight for a code, so that is weight minimum. Okay, that is given here. Okay, here in the statement for different code words I have to find out how many non-zero elements are there. Suppose if you are having a code word like this, it is 5. Likewise, for different code words you have to find out what is the weight. Okay, in that particular array we have to find out which is having the minimum value, minimum weight. So that is your W min, minimum weight. And if you are using a linear block code, distance min is equal to weight min. Okay, if I know what is weight min, I know what is d min. What is d min? First, what is d? D is nothing but the Hamming distance. This is between the code words. Okay, Hamming distance is nothing but the number of data, number of bits, okay, dissimilar bits between two code words. Okay, you can see here for Hamming distance, you see the second point, you see the second point, Hamming distance. Hamming distance is between two code words. ரெண்டு code word இருக்கும். So if you are having 16 code words na, you have to check all the combinations. Okay, first code word with the second code word, first code word with the third code word. Likewise, you have to do for all the combinations. Okay, then you have to find out what is Hamming distance. Okay, suppose you take two code words. Suppose first V is 10101. Suppose W is 01100. Okay, these two are two code words. Can you tell me what is the Hamming distance? D. You just check how many places both the data is different, where they differ. So tell me what is Hamming distance for these two codes. Here there is one change, here this is another change, it is same, so ignore, same, ignore, this is different. So what is Hamming distance for these two codes? 3. Okay, so likewise you have to try for all the combination of all the paired combination of the code words. Then you have to again have it in a list. Then you find out the minimum of that value. So that is your d min. Okay, so that is your d min. Okay, so this is going to be equivalent to your weight min. Okay, if you are leaning in block code, d min, the minimum Hamming distance has to be equal to the minimum weight of the code words if it is a linear block code. That is what given in this statement. Okay, okay, any doubt as of now? We can solve this problem. Before that, this is the linear block code. All the important concepts are covered here. Till this point, you have any doubt? Okay, if no means we can go on with this discussion of this problem. Shall we discuss the problem? Okay, okay, so you kindly follow this particular statement. Okay, Consider a 6 cross 3 linear block code defined by generator matrix. Okay, so they are asking, they are given this G matrix. Okay, it is 6 cross 3. What is n? N is 6. Okay, what is 3? K. Okay, how many message bits will have? 2 per 3. So 8 message bits, message data. Okay, 8 messages. Okay, and each code word is of length n. Okay, this part you have to understand. Okay, so from this particular data, I understand that n is 6, or the length of each code word is 6. The length of each message bit is 3 bit. So totally I'll be having 2 per 3 messages, which is 8 messages. So I'll be generating 8 code words. Okay, so that part you have to understand. How to generate the code words? It's nothing but message into G. Okay, this we know. Message into G. Okay, then we have to find out H matrix. Okay, just observe here. What is H matrix? Okay, just find out where that identity matrix is residing. Then you can draw a line separating the parity and the identity matrix. Okay, you can see here. Here we are having a identity matrix. So this is the block of identity matrix, I of k, which is nothing but I of 3. Okay, so you are having diagonal 3 ones. Okay, and the rest has to be your parity. Okay, so this question is slightly changed. Unlike the tutorial what we have seen in the previous slide, here they have changed the G matrix. G is in this form, I, K, P. Okay, so you have to be very careful. First we identify the form of the G matrix. Then we can find out what is H. H has to be P transpose I of n minus k, which is again 3. Okay, this is your H matrix. Okay, so we can easily find out our H matrix. Okay, you have to understand. So you have to be very careful in identifying where the identity block is present, where the parity block is present. Accordingly, you have to find out the check matrix. Here in this particular question, I find out that identity matrix is first. So I of k, then remaining is parity. Okay, so P. If this is the combination for G, what is the inverse of G? H. So H should be P transpose and I of n minus k, which is again 3. So that's that you can easily get the matrix from here. Okay, this is over. Encoding table is nothing but you have to generate that 8 code words. For each combination, you have to generate the code words. Okay, we'll try one. So we'll try one. So we'll take a message. So there are 3 bit, k is equal to 3. So totally how many messages, different type messages will have? 2 per 3, 8 messages. For a sample, I'll take one message, which is going to be 111. This is our message. Okay. In the exam, based on the number of marks they are awarding for the question, you have to provide. Okay, if it is going to be a part C 15 marks or a full question of 13 marks, you have to do it for all the 8 combinations. Here I am doing only for one combination. I am doing the 8th combination. Okay, you have to do for 0 0 0 all the message till 7 you have to do. I'm just trying for 7 for our understanding. So this is code word 6, sorry 7, because C0 to C7, which forms the 8 messages. Okay, how to get that last code word message, which is our 111. Okay, what is our G matrix? So this is the G matrix. So this is our G matrix. This comes here. Okay. Now we try to do the multiplication. Okay. We'll wind up here. Let me do this multiplication. Okay. I'll write here itself. So for better understanding, I'm just doing for one code word. In the exam, I have to do for all the code words. Okay. So here we are having the message, which is 111. You just multiply. What will get? So this is 1 into 1, which is 1. Okay. Then 0 0. Okay. Modulo 0 modulo 0. Okay. So this is our first bit. Okay. Likewise, the next one, we have to take this vector with this second column. It's simple matrix multiplication. Only for the addition, it will be doing a modulo addition. Okay. So what is 1 XOR 0? 1. 1 XOR 0? 1. Okay. This is for the first column. For the second column, this row matrix with this column matrix. What would be the answer? Which is 0 XOR 1 XOR 0. Which is what? 0 XOR 1 is 1. 1 XOR 0 is again 1. Likewise, can you do? What is the next one? This with the third one. So what is this? 0, then again 0, then 1. So which is going to be again 1. Okay, now this one and this one. So it is 1. So this is going to be 1 XOR 0 XOR 1. Okay, which is 1 XOR 0 is 1. 1 XOR 1 is 0. Okay, next for this one, so we'll be having, I think it is 0, right? Because 1 into 1, which is 1, 1 into 1, so again 1, 1 XOR 1 is 0, then 0 XOR 0, it is going to be 0. Okay. For the last one, 1 into 0, which is 0, then XOR with 1, which is again 1, then XOR with again 1, which is going to be 0. So what is that C7? C7 is nothing but, this is for each bit. C7 is 1 1 1 0 0 0. Okay, 1 cross 6, right? How I am getting 1 cross 6? Based on the dimension. So this is message is 1 cross 3, and this is 3 cross 6. What is output C? 1 cross 6. Okay, that is the dimension and the value is here. Okay, so likewise you have to do for C0 to C6. We have done C7. Okay, so if you put it in a table, we'll be having the message and the code words. Okay, so we'll be having message which is C0 0 0 0, its corresponding code word. Likewise you have to do, I've done the C7, which is 111 message, code word is 111 0 0 0. Okay, so this is the encode table. Okay, simple matrix multiplication, but when you are adding, you have to do a XORing. Kindly don't forget. Okay, it is XOR, modulo to addition. Okay, so likewise we can find out what is once you have the encode table, I can find out what is the Hamming distance. Okay, I can find out what is the weight also, weight minimum, find out number of ones. This we can do, and this is the last part, syndrome. Okay, we are having they are given the C, but they are telling this is the received code. They are asking syndrome they are asking. Okay, let me try that one. So we have to, how to find the syndrome? We know the formula. Okay. So what is a syndrome? Syndrome is nothing but receive data, okay, dot product with H transpose. Okay, we have to know what is H transpose. They are given the received data. This is R. Okay, so you have to take this one 111,001. Okay, then we have to get that H transpose. Okay, you have to get it from here. So this is, from this we have to get the H transpose. H transpose, and then you bring it here, you do the multiplication. Okay, so we'll be getting the data. Okay, syndrome. You can try this one. This is just the multiplication. Okay, this we can do. Okay, so this you can try. So you'll get some combination. The data will get us, we'll be getting 3-bit. Okay, we'll be getting a 3-bit data syndrome. Some combination will get. So based on that, if it is a non-zero, if all the bits for the S is 0, okay, this is no error. Okay, but if you have some data 0, 0, 1, if you are getting means error. Okay, so it means that error has occurred. Okay, so from this we can deduce that error has occurred. Okay, so this you can try. Just copy this question and try on your own. Okay, how to find out the syndrome, okay, in the received code. Okay, I think I have covered this linear block code to some extent, all the important notations and concepts here. Okay, we have taken a problem also. You just copy this question. If you want, you can try. If you have any problem, we can discuss in the next class. Try to copy this problem. Okay, very common part C question. Okay, in this unit. So I given all the clue for the solving this problem. Okay, just you do a matrix manipulation, matrix multiplication, find out the each answer result. Okay. Any doubt here? Now we can discuss about the doubt. What are the doubts here? Kindly ask, or you can ask in the chat window. I hope whatever I covered, you are able to understand. If you have any doubt in any part, kindly ask me. Any doubt, students? No doubt? Okay. So try this problem. Okay, you can make a note of this problem and try. Okay. Thank you.